All right, welcome in, everybody. This is, well, first of all, Merry Christmas. This is going to be the first of hopefully many book reviews that I'm going to do. I've always wanted to kind of try to do reviews on books just because I like reading. I enjoy stories that people come up with. So if you like this, please let me know. If you find it helpful, great. If you want to have a discussion, please feel free to do so. I'm going to try to keep any book reviews spoiler free if it's a book that I think you'll enjoy and that I'd want you to read. If it's a horrible book, I'll warn you up front that there will be spoilers to the story. This first book is not going to have any spoilers. I'm going to keep it as spoiler free as I can. But if I don't like the story, or if it's something that I just want to inform you about, but I wouldn't recommend, then there's going to be spoilers. But I'll warn you ahead of time for that. So for the first book, I just got done reading, and I've read this one before, and I think that's a format that I'm going to keep. I'm going to have my initial read and then the reread for the review that way, because I've had books before where I picked it up, I read it, I didn't care for it, I came back a little bit later, and I actually enjoyed the book. So for it to get a negative or positive review, it's going to be something that I have actually read, put it down, came back, read it again, and I still was able to enjoy it. So that's what I'm going to try to do anyway. So first book that I want to review is The Finisher by David Baldacci. I picked this one up quite a few years ago, honestly. When was this published? This was published in... And I believe I picked it up new. Like, it was brand new because I was working at Walmart at the time. And anytime that I would leave work, the book section was just right there. So I would always go over and check out the book section and see what they had available. So I know I picked this one up right as it came out. Yeah, first edition, March 2014. So this has been out for almost 10 years. So you should have no trouble finding it. But what this is about is this is a story about a girl named Vega Jane and where she lives. And she lives in a small community called Wormwood. They called themselves, instead of people, they called themselves wugs, which is kind of weird, but you adapt pretty quickly to the terms they use. And even the chapters are not listed as like 1, 2, 3. Like chapter 2 in the book is called Duo. Yeah, you're going to figure out that's chapter 2. But as it goes on, like the first chapter is Unus. So it is kind of neat, the different terms that they've used to signify the chapters, different terms for people, different terms for things. But Vega, she lives in a small community where that's all there is. There's nothing beyond the borders of their town. The thing that actually surrounds their town is called the Crag, and it is full of monsters, beasts, just nightmarish stuff that if any wug or person was to go into that, they would be killed instantly and very aggressively. Like, you do not go near it. And Vega works at a place where she is a finisher. She finishes up the small details on like jewelry, on any ornate or ceramic thing. That is her task. That is what she does. And by and large, it's one of those situations where it's not a particularly bad life, but it's not a particularly good one either. There's a very status quo thing in the community, where as long as you do your task and do your appointed job, no one bats an eye, even if your job is horrible, even if it's not something that you would normally accept. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, everybody's fine with it. The haves have, the have-nots have not, and as long as nothing upsets that, they're fine. Well, the person that actually taught her to be a finisher goes missing. One day she wakes up, she sees him running toward the crag, and a bunch of the city council is chasing him, trying to stop him, and he just disappears. And now she is trying to investigate, why would he do this? Why would he run into basically certain death? From everything that they give us about the character in the story, he's a finisher too, but he's not necessarily having a bad existence of it. So there's stuff going on behind the scenes that no one really addresses. Vega's grandfather, for instance, he had an event. And what an event is randomly, seemingly randomly, in these stories, people will just have events and they disappear. Clothes and all. Everything about them is gone. Except, you do remember them. It's not like your mind is erased on them. That would be kind of interesting, though. But he is gone, and that's somebody that she was very close to. Her friend Delph is kind of the typical muscle dude. He's very strong, but he had a problem when he was younger, so he's not quite right upstairs. And the story goes into the cause of that. I don't want to spoil that, because that is kind of a heavy plot point. But overall, the story flow was very good. The first time I read this, I read it pretty consistently. If I had time, I was like, hey, you know what? 10, 15 minutes to kill, pick it up, read a few chapters on there. It does a really, really good job of giving you some answers, but for every answer you get, it raises 10 more questions. I found it very enjoyable. And like I said, that was the initial read-through. I just read it again recently, and still good. I made my way through it at a steady pace. I would say, and there's, I believe, 4 books in the series, and I am currently reading book 2, which is called The Keeper. I will leave links in the description. If I were to rate this, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I think 5 is those stories that you just can't put down. You sit there and you're like, man, I can't wait to get back to it. That's how I'm going to kind of use my grading scale. 5 is I couldn't put it down. Anytime I had free time to read, I did, and I went back to that book. So 5 is absolutely cannot put it down, want to read it until the story's finished. So this is a solid 4. And 1 is going to be something that I have to force myself to finish reading this. And there will be one of those coming. I have the plan, but like I said, I want to do my second read through of it before I do that. But yes, I would highly recommend. It's generally I believe you would find this in the young adult section, mostly for teens. But I honestly find that sometimes those books are written a bit better than books that would be specifically written for adults. And David Baldacci, by and large, fantastic author. So I am looking forward to finishing up book 2, and then as soon as I get done with that, I'll leave a review on that one as well. Right on through the series. And if you guys like this, please let me know. I'll continue to do that. But yeah, that is definitely one of the books I would actually recommend picking up and reading if you like kind of a sci-fi horror mystery. Kind of has little aspects of everything in it, which is one of the things I really enjoy. But if you are going to pick that one up, this is going to be a shameless plug. If you do pick up Finisher, go pick up Axiom. This is a book that Cal and I recently published. We published it last year. It is our own sci-fi adventure novel. Deals with a lot of thought-provoking things on where we could be. Should we do these things? The things that happen in the stories, like, should that have been done, or was taking the action the thing that caused the issue, or are people the issue, and the action was benign in itself? So definitely, if you get a chance to check this out, please do so. I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as possible. When I went through and I did the test read of it, was also the time that I used to actually edit the book. And I would actually catch myself just getting lost in the story and having to remind myself, hey, I'm supposed to be editing this, not just reading it. So I'd have to go back and reread and catch the little editing mistakes that I made and everything with it. But I truly believe that you will enjoy that story as well. And if you do, please leave a review. But all we ask is that you leave an honest review. If there's something you didn't like, let us know. If there's something you did like, let us know. Leave us some feedback. Something that, we are not averse to feedback for that. But I'm going to go ahead and go. Thank you guys for sitting in on the first review. And like I said, as I get feedback on these, let me know what you would like to know about stories. Did I do enough to give you enough of a synopsis of the book that you were good, or was there something that you would like to know that I didn't cover? So that these will evolve over time. But I'm going to go ahead and get this edited and posted. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoy it. Feel free, absolutely pick up that first book. If you can, pick up Axiom. Leave us a review. And enjoy the rest of your holiday. Have a Merry Christmas. And I'll see you all again real soon.